All right. So my name is William Garcia, and I am here with fellow students and teachers who represent Ellis Prep Academy. And I'm here in behalf of the Hip Hop Science Genius tournament that happened last year. And I just want to ask all three of you um, about the project and how the Hip Hop Science project happened. How did it take place in the school? Y pues nada, aquí estamos aquí vivos para, estoy aquí porque estoy interesado en la competencia de Hip Hop Science Genius y quiero saber cómo fue que ocurrió el proyecto.
So I was a science teacher here at Ellis Prep Academy, and I became interested in finding a way to capitalize on some of the natural talent that I saw in our school. There was a lot of music, a lot of hip hop ciphers. Anytime we had a fire drill, these ciphers would just naturally appear, and the students would just go at it. And I also noticed that there was just a lot of sharing of that music and of that culture. And what I noticed was it wasn't one particular type of student. It was this cultural phenomenon. It didn't matter if you were an A student, a B student, if you were failing class, but this was something that everyone, it really brought the community together. Another thing was that I actually went to see Ellis Prep presents, I think it was their second Science Genius competition, and I just thought it was so phenomenal, the project in and of itself. Yeah. And to see what the students at Ellis produced really moved me a lot.
Right.
Not just everyone else, but our students here in particular, with the language and the mastery of English, but also incorporating their own heritage into it. So when I saw that, at that point I wasn't sure I was going to be teaching here, but I definitely knew that that was something that I wanted to be a part of.
How did you end up with the hip hop education movement that is happening between Chris Emden and Edmund Ajapong? How did you as a teacher, did you guys have a connection?
So I was a neuroscience education student at TC, and I'm currently a doctoral student there. So I'm in the science education program myself.
Yeah, he did tell me, right.
So I'm in the science education program myself. But while I was in the neuroscience program, I had taken a cultural class in multicultural urban education.
Wow.
But even before that, I had a fellow colleague, a fellow student, who was one of Chris Emden's doctoral students, Jeremy Hyman.
Right.
So he's also very much involved with this, and he had told me about Ellis as well as about the program and the work that was going on. And that's when I first went in and then saw the students perform. And then when I saw the students perform, I in my head even then thought like, okay, Ellis students need to do this again and they need to win. Like,
wow. So how did you get involved with this project? ¿Cómo tú terminaste en este proyecto?
Bueno, yo vi los posters en la pared de la escuela. Entonces, una de las amigas mías me dijo, vamos a ir porque van a dar crédito para ciencia y eso. Nosotros estamos en primero, porque era mi primer año el año pasado. Entonces, nosotros pensamos que era solo para los de tercero y cuarto año, porque sabían inglés, entonces nosotros no sabíamos nada de inglés. Pero fuimos. Yo quería cantar al principio. Entonces ella fuimos 3 amigas, entonces ella nada más querían escribir y yo que cantara la parte que ella escribiera. Entonces cuando nosotros fuimos, ellas no llegaron a escribir nada de lo que ellas iban a escribir, entonces yo logré escribir un párrafo del rap. Entonces si tú participabas, tú tenías que escribir algo, porque tú no podías cantar lo que el otro escribía, tenías que hacer tu propia parte que tenías que cantar. Entonces como yo escribí esa parte, no le encontré que podía cantarle, entonces tenía que rapear, entonces yo era la primera vez que yo rapeaba.
¿Y cómo te sentiste en la primera vez que rapeaste?
Bien, pero a mí me sale más rapear en inglés que en español. Entonces,
o sea que rapear en inglés es más fácil que rapear en español.
En español para mí sí.
Wow. Ham cheese, please. Freeze.
Sí, entonces todo lo que escribimos en el rap era la clase que nosotros hacíamos diario.
Okay.
Entonces, en ese momento estábamos haciendo la tarea y estaban esperando que tocaran el timbre para que se acabara la clase. Entonces ahí yo vi y separé la clase como del DNA y ahí vino todo, entonces yo escribí esa parte.
Tengo una pregunta aquí para anybody here. I'm saying English and Spanish. How did the final product of mixing hip hop and reggaeton come to be? O sea, ¿cómo fue que ocurrió el producto final de mezclar hip hop con reggaeton? ¿Cómo fue que sucedió eso? ¿Quién decidió mezclar reggaeton con hip hop? ¿Quién fue el que se ingenió esa idea? Y,
Fue en realidad Gregory, porque Gregory hizo el beat. Entonces lo primero estaba como la primera parte de la
Ajá.
canción. Entonces ella después dijo, tengo algo muy bueno que ustedes lo van a ver, que ese pedazo que va a acabar con todo. Entonces cuando escuchamos ese pedazo se pareció un poco a dembow, pero también reggaetón. Entonces dijo, ahí vamos a poner. Y esa fue la última parte que agregamos en la canción. Esa fue la última que le escribí.
pero tú estuviste ahí y tú fuiste parte del proyecto. De lo que tú viste, or from what you saw, what were some challenges of creating this kind of project? ¿Cuáles fueron uno de los desafíos, de los retos en crear este tipo de proyecto?
Well, I think the first thing is, like también que pasó was when we were talking about this whole idea of DNA and what that means and being authentic to yourself and being real to
Right.
who you are. Each one of the students, because what we used to do was we would talk a little bit about the science, make sure
Right.
the content was something everyone understood, and then there was that flavor. And to be very authentic to who you are. And Gregory's experience, what he says in his part is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Every single word that he spoke, I mean, you were there, you saw,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
That's something he was really going through.
Yeah.
And that, I think, was also part of the challenge as well. How do you take, 5 individuals who do have distinct backgrounds? They're from different parts of the world. They're not all Spanish speakers. And how do you kind of represent that in the music, and how did those verses link together?
Wow. Yeah, I have another question. Like, do you think? Sorry, noise. Do you think that